He wants to play go with his niece, so.
So you probably have more than 3 people like
no,
working on his behalf. It's like
I was like,
yeah. What else? Other situations that are coming up. That is classic, right? That's not just him. That's pretty much everybody. Other stuff you can think of?
Well, she's not a patient with us anymore, but Clara,
Yeah.
she was a big patient for us. She was end-stage cardiac issues, and we, Jess and Heidi, were at her house waiting early to get her these appointments, literally taking her out of bed and putting her in the car, taking her to these cardiac appointments, taking her to these invasive procedures. And in the end, that's not what she wanted. What she really wanted was to have her family back and to just not to be comfortable. That's what she really wanted.
So today we're going to talk about that. And I think it's actually a cool lesson to kick off with, because what I'm not going to reveal to you here is like I'm not going to click a slide and now it's going to be like, and now the patient will do whatever it is that you ask. So that's not going to be this. But what it is going to be is more of a framework. So I think for a long time we have hired everybody in this room because they're extremely interpersonally talented. So all of you have the skills to read people really well. You're all really good people readers. And I think what I've tried to do is just put what you're naturally doing into a framework based on a lot of research and a lot of talking to people and ditching some of the research based on what's going to work for us. So this is a really popular concept in education that they've actually done a lot of teaching or a lot of research on. So in education, there was a guy who came, basically researched over 10,000 teachers. So he went into classrooms and observed over 10,000 teachers that knew that consistently year after year scored significantly higher than their peers on standardized tests. So their students, year after year, they were able to produce consistently higher results. And what he found about teachers that were able to do that over time is that they're really good at doing 2 things. And this is built into the coach model. So they're really good about showing kids that they can achieve and showing people that they want to achieve. So I'm going to talk about what that means. They can, Andrew's going to present, and it's the second to last week. So this is the piece about showing people data. So this is those of you that sat in on Mary Kate's session about how she had, this is her thing. So she has Diane's accomplishments. So it's showing over time that they're able to achieve. If you don't show people this, they get burned out. They'll say, that's nice for that guy over there. They'll watch motivational stories and they'll think, congratulations to that guy who got better, but that's not going to happen for me because they don't see the progress on a regular basis. So this is about showing people progress. So this is teachers that year after year were consistent, scoring really high, they do this. They also do something else, which is what today's talk is going to be about and what we're going to spend time on, which is I want. They invest people in the idea of what they want. And really what that is connecting with an emotion. So I think a lot of times when you see trainings on this and you see stories, a lot of it is surrounded around SMART goals. Like we need to make SMART goals for people. Most of us in this room should have heard of SMART goals. Yeah, raise your hand. So SMART goals are these things where they talk about making it specific, making it measurable, making it attainable. And they go through a whole thing. The problem with SMART goals is if you're not connecting it to an underlying emotion, it doesn't matter. So unless somebody is motivated by something else other than just getting it done, you might as well not even bother. Like it's not going to get off the ground. So this is today. What I did is really dig deeper into the I want piece, and it's really about what makes us as people motivated. So there's a lot of literature on this, and some of it, like I said, I ditched. Some of it was the people that wrote there were way above my level of intelligence because I had to read it 6 or 7 times before I understood. So I knew that was not going to be helpful for us. So today we're going to do a couple of things. I have grossly oversimplified this so that we can just start out here, and then as we stay together, we're going to go deeper. So today we're going to identify the core needs that all people want. So these are the 3 core emotions that generally drive motivation. We're going to classify people into a dominant want bucket, so a dominant place, and we're going to reflect quotes that support the patient's want bucket. So this is what you're going to do in a tug of war. So the idea here is that anytime we're having a tug of war with patients, we should stop and figure out what is their want test tube. And you're going to see why I'm going to call them test tubes It's because they produce reactions. So we're gonna. So the reason, basically, this should be our first thought. So many times, and I am so guilty. I'm guilty of it now still. Like even after I did all this research, and this happens to me still now. Anytime I'm in this tug of war with patients, sometimes my first reaction is like, God damn it, that person is taking advantage of me. They're here to use me. This is what's going on. So the idea is that at our first thought, we've got to start to retrain. That it has to be to check in, what is their dominant blonde test tube? So we're going to get into this. So there's 3. There are tons of pieces of literature on this. There's tons of frameworks on what makes people motivated from the inside. And all of them have these 3 things in common. So all of them say, and again, these are underlying emotions that drive people to change. The need for significance is the first one. So who's by significance? Emma, can you read that one?
Deep desire to feel important and recognized.
I'm going to be vague on purpose, just because we're going to go into it, so I'm just going to skim over these. Love and belonging, and certainty and safety. So go ahead. So again, I'm going to flash this a bazillion times. Anytime you're having a tug of war with patients, your first thought's got to be to stop and figure out where are they. Significance, go ahead. Love and belonging, I bet on. So the deep desire to feel accepted and cared for. And certainty and safety. So you should really think of certainty and safety as the desire to know what's coming next, to have controlled surroundings. So these are people who like to run on a schedule, super tight surroundings. They are longing for safety. So go ahead and on your folders, everybody's folders, there's 3 patient scenarios. I want you to read them in your groups out loud and see, this is a blind kind of throw right now, see which place you think they belong.